I get asked a lot about the equipment that I'm using to create apps and then also to create my content on YouTube. So I thought I'd give a bit of an updated tour of my office. There's been some new advances and new additions to my office, and I wanted to give you a complete overview of everything that I'm using now, not only to make apps, but also to record and do all the lighting and everything like that. So let's get stuck into it. First, we've got my trusty MacBook M3. It's got 36 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard drive space. It's only the 14-inch model. I don't need any bigger than that. It spends most of its time here docked on my setup anyway. Over here, I've got the Apple Studio display. This is a new addition to my office and I'm absolutely loving it. The main reason why I upgraded was because of the pixel density. When I'm recording, I can record clearly the screen and it doesn't have that weird effect. The other bonus with this display is that it has all of the cables behind the screen, so it acts as a hub in its own. And then what that means is I am now decluttered underneath. No more do I have all of the mess of cables at my feet. Everything is just beautifully tucked away behind the screen. When it comes to actually coding, I love my Logitech MX Keys. I don't like too much travel time on my keyboard. I don't like a clicky keyboard. I like to just be able to get on and just start coding. So I've got the matching mouse as well. Really liking this Logitech MX mouse as well. But the only issue is these plastic bits catch. So you can see here, these plastic bits here catch. So I had a fabric one before, and when I'd move it around, the fabric, it would catch on the fabric. So I've had to change it up and get this Logitech one, which is a lot smoother and it glides better and generally runs much nicer. Over here you can see my Shure 7 microphone. This one has really good sound quality, and you got two connections. You got the USB connection and that fancy cable connection, that fancy plug. So if I do want to upgrade and I want to do like proper sound mixing, that has the capability of plugging in properly to sound mixing. You may notice this is a USB cable here, but I switch out all of the USB cables for these little magnetic cables, and it just literally just snaps on. The reason why I do that, I've got kids running around the house. They bump this so often, and when it gets bumped, it just comes off. That saves, I've had a few USB cables break inside that connection. So instead of having a broken USB cable stuck inside it, that's now magnetic and it works well. I've also got the same magnetic charger on the end of the mouse. So I want to charge the mouse, I just dock it. Over here, these are my AirPod Max headphones. This is what I purchased, my first splurge. I was in debt and couldn't afford any luxury items. I went into the Apple store and I would try these out and I absolutely loved it. You would go in and you press the noise cancelling feature in the crowded Apple store and everything just disappeared, all the noises. It felt so nice on my head, and I just fell in love with these and wanted a pair of these for myself. And the aim was, when I'm debt free, first thing I'm doing is purchasing a pair of AirPod Max headphones, and I've got them, which means I'm debt free. And you can also see I've got the magnetic cable on there, so that also charges with a magnet cable. The only problem with these ones are very heavy on the head and quite expensive. I don't think, if I was to do it again, I don't actually think that I would buy the AirPod Max. The integration with the Apple ecosystem is great, but these switch a lot between my MacBook, my phone, and my Apple TV. Sometimes they're just fighting for each other. So I end up turning that feature off, and I'm not using the Apple ecosystem settings anyway. So they're really just a pair of noise cancelling headphones with fantastic sound. Bit heavy on the head when you're coding for long periods of time. It starts to get uncomfortable. I would go with the Sony headphones if I was to do it again. Much more lightweight and comparable sound quality for a cheaper price. Up here I've got a bar that just illuminates my keyboard. I've got this little button here. You turn it down, turn it up, and that lets me do some coding in the dark. And to light that up, make sure my eyes aren't getting strained. What are these remote controls, I hear you ask? This is all to create video content. I'll be sitting at the desk on a bouncy ball. This is a tip that I've learned from the Primogen on the Lex Friedman podcast. He sits on this to improve his posture. I'm giving it a go. I don't know if it works, but I'm giving it a go. So far, very uncomfortable. The kids like to steal it from my office. But when I'm coding or creating something and I'm inspired to create some content, what I want to do is just be able to turn to the camera and start recording. The camera that I use, I've got two of them. It's this camera over here. The ZV-E10 4K camera from Sony. I've got a Sigma lens on it. This is my absolute favorite lens for creating content. It means that the room doesn't have to be so bright. 16mm 1 to 1.4. I don't know what those numbers mean, but I know that this is a lens that works really well for recording talking head content for my channel, and it lets enough light in with the bigger lens. It's got some zoom functionality onto it, and this is my B-roll camera. So B-roll is like when you want to record extra scenes that go into the video. Previously I was doing it all on one camera, but then decided that for ease of use, like I said, I'm sitting at the computer and I decided I just want to record. So there's another one of these cameras, another one of these Sony cameras in a teleprompter behind there with the exact same lens. I've got the stock lens. This lens is like a good all-round purpose lens that lets me just create, like if I want to go outside and record, this one will work better. If I want to take shots of the phone itself, this one will do better. But over here we've got the a tripod set up. I've had to mount this. This is like skewered there because I got kids and they will just pull that down. So it is a Monfrotto stand. I've got two of these tripods. This is the other one. This is for like doing B-roll. And it has this mount underneath, this connection underneath, and it connects into this bit. So you put the camera in and it clicks into place. And then what that means is you're not messing around screwing the camera into position. You can have a fixed position that you know works. This knob here changes the angle of the camera up, down, pivot, things like that. And then this one here is really important. So you've got the angle right, but all you want to do is just turn the camera left and right. So now that one there lets me turn the whole camera left and right on its axes. When you do that, it all locks into place. And that has been really helpful when creating content, especially when I'm recording my short form content on the piano over here. So I'll set up the camera. It'll be set up on the piano to create short form content for promoting my app that I'm building, learning how to play the piano. And I've got a key light up here, which focuses down on the keys. So it gives me that nice even light on the keys. So the piano, the office, they're kind of linked because I'm building an app that connects straight to the Yamaha keyboard, helping me to learn the piano and in the process creating an app to learn the piano and creating content, short form content to put onto TikTok to promote my app, learning how to play the piano. On top of the tripod, I've got the Neewer Teleprompter. Camera sits inside the teleprompter and an iPad sits here. That reflects to me the script that I'm talking. Now that I'm going down the process of really leaning into doing this YouTube thing full time, so I want to make sure that my videos are less choppy, and I've got an editor on board now who helps out putting these together, and I don't want to mess about. I want to be a bit more professional, so I've got a teleprompter there. And over here, we've got the camera set up that's set up through the teleprompter. I've got a cable that runs to the MacBook. And then when I want to record, I've got my button here to start recording. So now I'm recording on that screen there. Hello. And then with this handy controller, I can control my lights. And when the iPad is on the teleprompter, this controller from Neewer makes me press play. It runs through the teleprompter. I can go up and down, increase the font size up and down. The light that I'm using, Godox SL60 watt. Prior to that, I was using the Elgato Key Light. So you can see the difference. That was my old light. This is my new light. That light is also on there. That little stand there is also an Elgato stand. That little bracket there is also an Elgato bracket. You can tell I like Elgato. But then this gives a nice consistent light to my room, so no matter what the outside looks like today, whether it's sunny or not, I've got a nice distribution of light coming in, on, off. Just lights up my room. With my content creation, I like to have the light set up. I like it just to... I don't like these videos where we're in a dark room and illuminated. No, not me. I like the content to be light. And then this little button here... Oh, my goodness. That was made by the talented Max Blade. He creates this. You press a button and it uploads all your code to GitHub. I don't use GitHub, but I wanted to support him, so I hacked it. So it plays noises that the kids come in. They think it's hilarious. It saves them from messing around my keyboard. They just come in and do that. So that is a tour of my office. What else can I show you? This is a water filter. I've been trying to be healthier, and this is a ceramic water filter. I've been not having as much energy drinks. I've been focusing on just drinking water, so that's good. I think that's pretty much it. That covers everything. I got some nice plants in here. I like the plants. Big fan of Lego. These plants here are Lego. And this duck here, this is not a real duck. This is a duck made of Lego. This is not flowers. This is flowers made of Lego. This is a real plant. This is a real plant. This is a real plant. This is a real cactus. This is a real plant. That concludes a tour of my office.